All right. Noise level's good. People can hear me. Make sure I don't want to have my quiet storm voice on accident. I feel like I should do like big one, one, two. Check me out right here. Man, trying to figure out here. So, anyways, what's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36. And this is Big Games BS presented by Den Media Group. Um, brought to you by alphamailjacks.com. Alphamailjacks.com is the go-to website for all things human performance enhancement. Again, we cater to specialize with men, we cater to women as well. You need to go. A lot of people just check your hormones out, check how you're feeling. You might be thinking improperly because you're not feeling optimal. I mean, if you're, matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you right here, it's for everybody. Everybody needs to get themselves checked in 2024 with Alpha Male Jacks. But I want to show you guys how to know if you've got symptoms of hormone imbalance. Okay. If you're interested and you really want to know how to check to see if you have symptoms of hormone imbalance, check this out. Type something in the comments. Like, just if you want to know, raise your hands in the comments. I'm going to tell you right now who has symptoms of hormone imbalance because you're not thinking properly and things are not happening right. And yes, we always say the show starts 9:30-ish. But I'm going to tell you this, Angelo, you're good right now. Right now, you're good. You're showing a good signs. Pitt Born Again, you might want to get your levels checked. Stephen FG, might need to get your levels checked. Mickey, we got to get those levels checked. You know why? Because if you're in the 2024 and you're still not a member of Den Media Group, it's got to be something wrong hormonal. Monterey, you're good. Got to be a hormonal thing right now. All jokes aside, check out alphamailjacks.com to go get yourself checked. Yeah, just so you can live balanced. All those things again. Yeah. Inside back home, inside the world's greatest cigar lounge, Goodfellas Cigar Lounge, where we have all kinds of stuff, man. We were rocking last weekend. Had That's Pressure. That's Pressure comes in. They're a live ass band. So Friday, Saturday, we have live music. Thursday, I believe we have the fellas are back now. Little band from UNF to college right around the corner. DJ Tuesday night karaoke. We're gonna try to do some more things, have stuff added. Grown and sexy vibes. Make sure you just come check us out, see what we about, and love it here. Got to get the chat room growing. I don't, man. What's crazy is I remember. I try to go back and remember how things were when we were having a show with like 20 people watching. To where we've had so many people watching lately that I almost did. I'm like, damn, dog, y'all can't support me, but I do need y'all to get me on my guy Chris levels with sporadics. Though I ain't even gonna lie to you. And oh my God, George be like, don't not support them. Cats numbers is dope. But then we be doing Chris show. Chris be having like 370 people watching the show. Now I do know it's the time of the day. I do know it's the time of the day, but like you're at work. Just like here's what I need you to do. Just put me on. Don't listen. Put it on mute. The views count the same. The views count the same. Speaking of the devil, got George a Renegade Report. George is gonna have my teammate B Mac on tonight at 7 o'clock. Brian McFadden. No. I want to be like B Mac when I grow up. B Mac is such a good person and a good know. Like, he does CBS Sports, does all the breakdowns and stuff like that. We've had B Mac on when the snub happened, but like B Mac's like me. They won't let Florida State has this fear of marketing. I think I'm like, you know how they didn't know what to do with Marshawn Lynch first, but then when they got him, like it's cool. But even then, they still don't know how to touch him yet. Like they got B Mac marketing golf outings in Dublin, Ireland. They would never. They're afraid of what I would say. They definitely know that. They definitely know I would be like niggas in Dublin or something like that. Like it would be they sell out. But sometimes I guess at that point it's not always about the numbers. It's more about you know, brand. How did we get those numbers? Can't have the big, loud, dreaded fullback up there. No way. The day they do that, boy, I'm gonna be like Mike Alford. I would definitely tell Mike, I'm like, Mike, are you ready to be fired for being an irresponsible white man? Yeah, and putting me in this position. Oh man. It would be a hell of a tailgate, man. I don't even know what they eat over there. Like, I'm afraid of that. So, lot of ground to cover. We're oh my bad. I thought I had finished sharing this. Let me share this in the different groups. Um, one of the groups is so stuffy on Facebook. It's the biggest group they have. Probably one of the biggest nose groups on social media. It's called Nose Only. It's got 105,000 people. Like, if you say anything close to a cuss word in your post, they will ban that shit. And I told them, I was like, do y'all realize what it looked like sometimes when y'all be banning former players? I was like, shit, no, it's not a good look. But anyways, let's get into the show. One on the road to riches and diamond rings. Real good niggas do real things. We're at 42. We're at 21% of our goal for the month. So that means I need to get 5,000 subs so we can do the $500 giveaway. We are at 42% to where our total goal is to get to 10,000 subs for the end of the year. So the goal is, man, we're gonna probably do something. If I get to 10,000, it's probably gonna be something crazy, something wild. But here are some advantages. We want to subscribe. In the subscribers will be obviously that'll give you a chance to see the YouTube community. We will probably put up some giveaways and things like that nature on there. But membership has its perks. So we have membership we want to get that to about 500 by the end of the year. Right now we're standing at 107. If you're 3-6 Mafia and above, you get a free tailgate pass. So the tailgate pass, you'll be able to get to that by the end of the year. If you are an all-in member, I got your spring game tailgate ticket. And you're not just the tailgate ticket. You're gonna hang out in the Champions Club with me as well. I can't read any of that shit, Miles.
I'm at work getting it done by Christopher County.
Oh yeah.
Ramon almost got banned sharing your show on their page. And
that's crazy because somebody even put up there like y'all should be listening to James. But like it's crazy. Like I don't get it. It's like they're in a Facebook group to get knowledge about Florida State. And then when you share knowledge about Florida State, they don't want you to share the knowledge about Florida State. Chop City, they just put out that they just sent the emails out. So the spring game, they're going to be playing the game while there's construction. Tentatively, the game is going to be on 4/20. Yeah. So we'll have some stuff around there. Wherever the game is going to be at, I got you. So if you're an all-in member for between now and April. So I'll give you till February. So February, March, April. You just got to make sure your current status. Same thing with the 3-6 Mafia level. Make sure that tailgate ticket more than paid for itself when you're on that level. So yeah, check that out. Try to grow the page, grow this thing so we can continue to have fun in a cool, calm, and collective way. Shout out to Florida State fans, though. Florida State fans so crazy that Bill Hancock had to say the college football playoff is totally disappointed at accusations and vitriol from politicians in the state of Florida over FSU snub. Heather, so I got to think of what her name is, Heather Dix or something like that. CFB Heather Dinich or whatever. The CFP has hired security for committee members if needed since December 3rd. They have made the FBI aware. This one was absolutely over the top and inappropriate. In my 35 years, I've never seen anything like it. You know what? Neither had us. Neither had we. None of us have seen anything like this. You made an unprecedented. This is my problem with people. You made the decision. You made the decision. Have some fucking nuts, bitch. Wait a minute. I don't know if that's proper. I don't know. That's a man. Yeah. Heather is the person tweeting it out. But have some nuts, man. Nobody gives a shit about your feelings. You didn't give a fuck about our feelings. You didn't fuck about Florida State's feelings. You just said, get over it. We're going to do something that's never been done before. Man, I really wish we could show the future. Like basically, how we all feel in Florida State? Cry, bitch. We got some other great clips to be able to just show our collective disdain. James, how do you feel about how Florida State fans are responding to this shit? Do you think they're being?
My actions don't require any defense.
Well,
in the same situation, I do it again.
Same way Batman
My actions don't require any defense. In the same situation, I do it again. My actions don't require defense. In the same situation, I do it again. My actions don't require any defense. In the same situation, I do it again. My actions don't require any defense. In the same situation, I do it again.
We'll say it over and over again. We don't give a fuck. If you do it again, we're gonna be worse. And then this is basically, and if I see a CFB committee person, this is basically big game right here. On site, this is what all FSU, you can chalk it up to FBI, we ready. We're ready. By any means necessary, they ain't gonna never leave us out again. I bet you that much.
Suffered minor injuries after a defendant.
Man, clearing them. He could have cleared it
like
2 feet higher.
Like, what makes me mad about that situation is, like, one, it's a lot of things that make me mad about the situation. One, that's a hella athletic dude.
Yeah, for real.
Like, that means he's been wasting his life. Like, do you know how much, like, it's not a normal desk. That's up there.
Yeah,
the
it's
timing,
elevated.
like, and he's not getting a good run up like they do in track and field. Like, he literally, they have to be able to put the penultimate step, which means put that foot down and then launch yourself up there. And he launched. Normally, you throw your hips up and you go up this way. And when you're doing a high jump and you turn around, he launched forward and got parallel, like he flew. That's a lot, man. Like, he wasted. It's clear he wasted his life in this situation right now with this scenario. Mind you, this was not him getting life. I get if you were getting life though, like life without the possibility.
I assume.
This was a fucking probation. She denied his probation, which means you got 1 foot next to freedom. You ain't never getting out now, dog. And to be able to jump like that means he's a relatively young man. But as my grandmother would say, the only time you do something like that is if you got a boyfriend in there. Like, it's got to be there's no reason to overreact that bad, dog. Got to be somebody in there waiting on him. Like, he didn't want to leave him. Love will make you do some crazy things, man. Shout out to Deborah Cox on how did you get there? She said that. But anyway, shout out to my FSU fam. Don't risk your freedom because we're not in there, but at the same time, I fucking understand. We really do understand. Man, that man got him. Then they put him in like the dog muzzle chain, like, because she made him come back. So, speaking of Florida State's right now engaging in Portal Combat. Shout out to my boy. He does his spaces. Go follow him at Seymour Stacks. Make sure I'm saying it right. Seymour Stacks. I want to give him a proper. Damn, I know that motherfucker ain't blocked me. Oh, maybe. Oh, all right. Yeah, at C, the letter C. More Stacks, Stacks. Go follow him on Twitter. If you are into Twitter Spaces, he's been hosting like 3 or 4 of them motherfuckers a day. He is not very happy about Florida State's recruiting across the D-line, and I get it. rightfully so. And I'm not saying this again to give him a show like dedicated or any of those things, but I'm joking about it because right now Florida State has aggressively hit the transfer portal through this second wave, which I have a show that we just did, the SEC capitalized wave, because a lot of SEC guys are hitting the transfer portal right now. But Florida State got a defensive end from West Virginia. I believe he's 6'6", 275 pounds. A lot of African. 6'4", my bad. 6'4", 277. Tell me away, Duriage, yo. I'm in the way. We're gonna have some Polynesians and Africa. We're gonna be some dancing motherfuckers, man. Which is funny. You know how the old heads always say these young boys be dancing and wearing and doing shit wild? Who dances more than fucking Africans and Caribbean people? And them some managed motherfuckers, but like, don't know how to say his name. I'm not even gonna fucking hold you. Don't know how to say his name. But he's a large mammal. We need those. 6'4", 277 means we can get him in that Storms program, shift him over a little bit, maybe gain some more weight. Pretty good athlete. And what's crazy is he fits the Mike Norvell philosophy. James, what is the Mike Norvell philosophy? We're not bringing in a lot of one and dones. We're bringing in a guy with multiple years of eligibility, 3 in particular. Like, we have some analysts and some people saying, he might not be that great. He might be that. This motherfucker played as a true freshman. He totaled 23 tackles, 3.5 sacks in 2023. Again, that is pretty fucking good. In comparison, the ACC, what did the and he's at defensive end. Let's see what again, I'm not even gonna insinuate that he's as good as this person is, because this young man, Ruben Bain, is an amazing, freakish athlete at Miami. But he's 6'3", 253. What was Ruben's? I'm looking for his stats. That's not what I was looking for. They didn't give me what I wanted. Ruben Bain stats. Because Ruben Bain had a great freshman campaign. So he got half of the production that Ruben Bain got, which, again, to me, coming in, developing, that's still not a bad freshman year. Ruben Bain is just that motherfucker. Like, he's just that good. So to be able to get somebody like that, oh, okay, George put it. Miles, we're going to have to go get the Google lady again or the pronunciations. But told me why, shame on you. Told me once, shame on you. Told me twice, shame on me. Oh, that's fool me. Told me why, Duro J. Duro J. You know, I like Mike's approach when it comes to this. And it's just really, really good. We got another potential defensive end supposed to be committed today. Hopefully we'll be 2 when it's all said and done. You know, with him, you get a nice 3 technique, potentially, definitely 4-eye. You know, the other 2 defensive ends are large defensive ends, which, again, if you can command double teams across your front 4, that helps with mediocre linebacker play, which I'm not suggesting we will have mediocre linebacker play, but I am suggesting that's where we're weak at. So in terms of recruiting. So still look for us to be able to bring another linebacker in, potentially 2 more deep, another D tackle, an offensive lineman. You know, things to continue to bolster that defense. So it's George brings up a good point with Renegade Report. It's almost like the staff had a plan the entire time. So let's just take a gander at Florida State's misses, right? So we miss on Blunt. Oh, my bad. Thank you, Steven. I saw that the running back from Alabama, who might have more pressure on him now that Alabama's starting running back just declared for the NFL draft. We got that name, the Google lady name.
I could only find this part of the name.
That's fine. So let's see here. Let's get this all the way right. ¿Por qué? Okay, no, that's what I think. That's what George said. Is that can they hear that?
Yeah, they can hear.
George, what do you think about that?
That
name sounds like you got to say it on beat. Duro Jai.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Duro Jai. Boom, boom. Duro Jai.
I love that. It's not racist. It's just fun.
It's just Well, I mean, this is their music. Like it's like if you make a reel to this spot, you gotta go find trading places. Is he singing? He's a Negro. They're musical people. It's one of the most racist, greatest classic lines in any movie. I'm just gonna be doing that randomly all throughout the day. Doom, 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 Duro Jai, doom, 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 Duro Jai, doom, doom.
You gotta like tap.
Yeah, you gotta tap your foot. He gets to say, "Oh, can you imagine him dope?"
Oh, and everybody,
He gets to say, everybody take their foot. Duro Jai, Duro Jai. Duro Jai. Oh, yo, I gotta talk to my guy. Duro Jai, like this is the one I was telling y'all that likes the older one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Said, where the mamas at? Okay. So they got time. Say, I ain't got time for somebody learning themselves. I need somebody who knows. I came to Florida State to develop. That's what he said. He said, I'm Bandigo. I ain't got time for no girl trying to learn how to take this pipe. I need a mama who's already had this before. This one who's birthed the child vaginally to be able to take this. I know if something came out of that, I know she can handle this. No C-section mamas over here. Need a real woman. Do Duro Jai.
Yeah, every time. Oh man, it's perfect.
Oh, it said all the don't look like the scene in Black Panther. Oh man. Oh, Alphabet Africa. Oh man. Oh, jeez. Oh goodness. This is gonna be a hell of a year for pronunciation, boy. I'm telling you, we gotta get Kanika.
I know. Oh man.
Oh man. And on the tackle, Duro Jai and Kanika tackling McConkey. We ain't seen an African and a Kanika on a McConkey since that one porn. You gotta pay the elite, you gotta pay the extra money for that one. Oh man. Oh man. When he gets a second. Those Monday breakdowns are gonna be so electric. Oh, we're gonna have to I might have to have a ding button for like all the mispronunciations.
Right.
I mean, if these guys pan out like Mike has consistently had these guys pan out, right? Their name's gonna get said a lot.
Right.
Like, man, they are going to get all their money's worth off the new voice, off the new gene is what I used to call them. But Duro Jai, did we have the film showing the Duro Jai? So we already had that showing up once.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is him versus TCU. It's pretty explosive. Just look at him. Now this is what I was telling somebody is what we ran a lot against Louisville was this kind of stunt. So we did a lot of, and that's just like they just slanted slightly to the left. Boom. But again, he just whips the guard, gets to the backfield. Duro Jahi chance going crazy. So again, just look at his alignment. Push pause real quick. So for those who don't know, so keep us on this page. Go back to all the way to the beginning. So West Virginia is traditionally ran like a 3-4 type of look. So all this is basically that they got the guy standing up in a crouch position. So he's the guy. Go down because they can see the arrow. Come down, Miles. Nah, up. Next line. No. Yeah, right there. So here's him right here. So look at where he's at. So imagine a world where you got, come all the way down to the left, 2 more. So we got Patrick Payton here. You've got, let's just go ahead and say Farmer because he'd be more of the pass rushing defensive tackle. You got Duro Jahi. And you got MJJ up here at the top, Marvin Jones Jr. Or you can flip Peyton and then like that's a fucking hell of a third down look right there. Now look at this explosiveness right here. This is a party in the backfield right here. Yep. So all I know is when you look at the misses that Florida State has had in recruiting, you missed on KJ Bolden. Big miss. KJ Bolden, even though we laugh and we joke and we pick on him a little bit about what happened at the All-American game, big miss right there, right? But we got Earl Little Jr., who's got, say it with me, multiple years of eligibility remaining. You got you miss on Armando Blunt, a 16-year-old that probably was going to have to redshirt and not give you much this year. But what do you go get? You get Duro Jahi, who's got production in a year in the program. Like, what if, again, don't let the wanting to troll. Thank you, Connor. He said, I guess my nipple. When you start talking about Africans and sacks, your nipples get to showing. He's saying my headlights are showing. Angelo, we might be we might be getting Zion. We might have some announcements from Zion coming here shortly. But you get all of these things, man, and now your defense is up to par. You're doing some really, really good things. And that's not even me mixing in the new Pilgrim. The boy from Colorado State, who's again has 3 years to play. So like you're getting guys, you're doing well. All right, we had 100. Make sure we stay at 100 for a second. Make sure you guys take a second to go like the show. Right now we're at 30. I think it says 39 likes. We're gonna open up the phone lines. Starting next week, I believe we'll actually have. We'll have a phone for the phone lines. So it'll be we got a new sponsor. See, this is what I'm saying. Pure Image. Pure Image. They're going to be sponsoring the phone lines. One of these days, I'm gonna get somebody. I might give them the phone and the text, but we're gonna get the chat sponsor because the chat be bumping though. Chat be bumping. Grill Master, I had to talk about. They got the problem with Michigan's D line is the kids coming behind them. The kids coming behind them are 4 and 5 stars, but Michigan's D line, the guys who are starting right now, are all beast. But yeah, man. Outside of that, really, really good in the portal. Again, like I said, we got a running back that we're looking at. If we get that Bama back, I'm going to be really, really excited. Even though I like our current running backs. We get, Zion or the young man from Oregon State, Toka. We get – if we can just find a couple linebackers, man, that are just worth a damn. And it would be very, a very glorious day for us. So just stay adamant, stay wanting the more consistency, stay on top of it. But like, we went from not having any kind of answers to having a lot of answers and a lot of weapons. But Miles, if you can go look up the go to the Trey Rowland. Shout out to my guy Trey Rowland. Another reason why social media is so great and our fan base is so great. Trey is now because there's a show with 247 called X's and O's, and X's and O's or something like that, and they do a pretty decent job with breaking down the game film. And Trey went from just doing this stuff solo dolo. I actually did one of Trey's pods back in the day, and he's actually always pretty good. Damn, it's not recognizing it. Okay. Oh, no. Damn, that sucks. All right, I may have to just do the audio for myself because it's actually funny. So Trey Rowland at Trey_Rowland ROWLAND 59 on Twitter, and he put this. His tweet is me trying to pronounce all the new names on FSU's roster. I guess I could have just. I know what I can do. I'm supposed to connect this to. The phone number is up there now for people wanting to call in because we are over 100. All right, Miles, make sure that the sound is on. I'm about to play it.
Included groundbreaking Asian Americans like Vera Wang and Joan Shingang. I'm going to pronounce it. Shanga Koala.
They can hear that, right?
Yeah.
Included groundbreaking Asian Americans like Vera Wang and Joan Shingang. I'm going to pronounce it. Shanga Koala.
Yo, imagine, hold on. They're going to have to give nicknames, man. They're going to have to give nicknames. What's Toko's real? Let me put this cat. Toko, Oregon State. I put Rocco. Man, them boy got them names a mouthful. Like, yeah, Toko's definitely. Oh, that ain't even really. I thought, why do they call him Toko? His name is Sion Lolohe. Ooh, shit. Dorajan Lolohe, huh? Like, that shit, God. With the pressure. God, I remember that. Oh, man. Jesus. You can't even say, at least back in the day when they first, because the black kid with the you can't even say that. Can't say the Samoan kid because we have multiple Samoan guys. Shout out to DJ's dad going on to his spaces last night, talking very, very, Toko, Montre. Toko's that motherfucking nickname. Shout out to George with all of the Sionia. Ooh. Siona. Lolo Hea. Ugh. That's it. Make him say ugh. That's his name. That's his nickname, is make him say ugh.
I've seen a picture of him dressed like Harry Potter with like a purse in the shape of a dog. A dog thrown off.
Who?
Pusha T.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Are they trying to get Pusha T? Trying to like? Never mind. We're gonna get into Uncle Shishay. Miami. I don't want to just make it look like we're the only ones hitting the portal hard. Miami is at their maximum scholarship limit. They're at 85 right now, if they include all the transfers and the scholarship guys. So they got to be very, very, very cautious with who they take. You can put this up, put the first one. This guy, Omar Hassan, kind of a weirdo. Don't know why he follows me, but he follows me, and I don't follow back. But he oh, this is Earbud Shorty. No, not AT's thing. So let's just put. I want you to click on the quote tweet that AT has, if you will, Miles. Earbud Shorty, like yeah. So right there, yeah. So you click on this profile pic. Now he has other ones, but just look at how egregiously long his ear pods are. So that either means he has really those can't be the official ear pods. Yeah, it could be. I was like, you could have a, but how you can't have a tiny head with a big forehead. Isn't that like that's against the rules or something like that? He might have really tiny ears, but like the ear pods are not supposed to come all the way down your earlobe. Like that's the ones that you get from the dollar store. But he be doing stuff. He always has something. He always retweet. He's one of the ones I was saying retweeted when I thought the drunk Lance Guidry was leaving Miami to go to LSU, which he was very close. It was really crazy how I got the backstory off of that. But when we got I forgot how to say his name. All right, Dura Jahi. When we got Dura Jahi, that helps you. That helps you. When we got Dura Jahi, Omar jumped on his Twitter. FSU is taking anything off the clearance rack. Oh, but wait, there's more. Miami got their quarterback immediately after that. Or right before that, excuse me. They got their quarterback right before this. Miami got a quarterback from a name that I would, as much fun as we'll have saying ukulele, as much fun as we may have saying Simanye, or whatever the dude's name from Oregon State, as much fun as we're going to have saying Duro Jahi, as much fun as we'll have saying these things, we know that these guys are going to probably make plays. Nothing comes worse than Miami's newest quarterback commit who is going to push the quarterback room, which everybody's saying. His name is Reese's Puffinworth. Puffinfirmer. Puffinburger. Reese's Peanut Butter Puff. That's what their quarterback is. He is a 3-star according to the transfer rankings. 86. He is the 53rd rated quarterback in the transfer portal. Not amongst all quarterbacks available in the transfer portal. That means there are 52 other American football playing quarterbacks that are better than Reese's. You know what it sounds like? A lot of you guys are probably too old to remember how real the streets used to be. Sesame Street, one of the realest streets that you'll ever be a part of. Scariest place in America. 7-foot pigeons, yellow pigeons walking around. A pimp just out here counting the 1, 2, crackheads coming out of trash cans, mad as fuck at the world, ready to stab people. Even had episodes where a man was trying to sell Bert an 8th. And the only reason he stopped trying to sell Bert the 8 is because Bert pulled out the 9. It's real out here in these Sesame Streets, man. But there was a person, the person that's the little chef guy, the Reese's Puffinburger. You know the guy who talk. Some of y'all might be old enough to remember him. Some of y'all might not be. But that's what they're doing over there in Miami. That's what's going to bring the U back. The level of quarterback play at the U is going to be astronomical, over the top. This kid's doing good. My boy AT said they got their quarterback straight out of Hogwarts. Said this motherfucker played on Harry Potter. went to Albany. They tried to compare him to Jared Verse. By the way, Jared Verse was like the number 2 overall defensive end or some shit like that when he came out of Albany. Like, it's not quite the same. But I think when I look at, do we have his last stats, Smiles? I think we have one of those things up there. When you look at his last game, right, it does like that motherfucking picture off the street. Now that's, I think you're just looking at, that's going to just show us the AT thing, but yeah, the stars. Now, yeah, we'll show that soon too. Yeah, let's show this real quick so the people can see. Again, it's all about the U and being realistic, right? When we look at his last game, he went 30 for 44, 232 yards. So they throw the ball a lot. Kind of like Miami, if you look at their stats, their quarterbacks throw the ball a lot and have a very low average. He threw no touchdowns. He threw 3 interceptions. Very much so a Tyler Van Dyke stat. So they needed a guy that, you know, that's more what they're more used to outside of Ja'Curry, in case Ja'Curry doesn't work out. Because there's got to be competition in your quarterback room. And that's why you bring in the best. If we can go look up one of these other ones, my boy Rhodes posted a great video from a great movie. I think it was Rookie of the Year. Basically stating this is what's going to happen if Ja'Curry Brown goes in there and starts messing up. You know, Mario's going to be ready to bench him. And you know, coaches are worse with names than any of us, than I could ever be. But we're going to show what will happen as soon as Ja'Curry starts fucking up.
Hello, son. I'm looking for Henry Ruhlenfurter. Rapping Boozer. Rosenberger. Warm up. You're going in. Gardenhoser. Ruhlengroder. I never doubted him for a minute. Hey, way to go, run amok.
That's basically what. Wasn't my original idea. The internet is undefeated. That's why I had to shout out my boy. But Miami's excited. Shout out my boy Big No. Miami leads the ACC in little people working for them. Their offensive line coach is a little person. Their director of scouting is a little person as well. And he does this thing where he like rings the alarm when somebody commits. And it gets very this is a little weird, but this is basically what probably happened in their little mini facility, little people in little facilities. Like, this is what happens. Like, they have their little Lego set, erector set facility. And watch, this is what their guy does. I'm sure this is what happened when they got Ruffenbower to commit. He's on fire. You got to douse him. They're getting it. They're getting after it. Love it. Love the acquisition. I am so happy for them to find their quarterback of the future. I hope he has multiple years so that they can continue to have that. Notable UF fan, Uncle Luke, who took me out on a visit some years ago. He was very he knew all about this. He was all about this commit right here. Do we have what his response was as soon as he saw the young man get committed? Yeah, it's up there. So Uncle Luke, who is this? Uncle Luke had no fucking clue who Puffenboger was. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter as long as they like him. He is, all jokes aside, he is pretty athletic. We have a picture, we have the video of him dunking. His sister is a hooper at Arkansas. Pretty good. You know, this is some good shit right here. So, I mean, if Florida State was having a 4x1 competition against other universities, I like our chances against them. if we were playing a basketball tournament against football players, I like Miami maybe right now because this Puffenberger can dunk. He's breaking stereotypes.
Oh,
No hate on it. No hate on it. Very good. Anthony Richardson can do stuff like that too. So I don't think he's Anthony Richardson though, but like good shot. Good for them. But let's leave you with some more football. Just some more football highlights of him. This is him playing against Division I competition. So here, rolling out that there million time launches that bit.
Throwing it downfield, it's picked off.
Yeah,
Played in a total of 3.
that's not a good start. Played against Hawaii, not really known for their best athletes, known more for their scenery. Doing a double coverage. Again, that very much so reminds me of the good old days of yore with Tyler Van Dyke, one of the best players on Florida State's team in his 3 years at Miami. Moving away from college into the NFL. A guy who really set social media on scene. Not even gonna hold you. I really don't like this kind of content so much but I get it. It was entertaining. Cat Williams with Shannon Sharp. Cat Williams is also on Willie D. For those who don't know, iconic rap group Ghetto Boys. I found out my cousin actually had a lot to do with them. DJ Ready Red. He's on there. They already got 2.7 million views in less than 24 hours with his Willie D interview. Willie D is a little bit more raw. Shannon's not. But Shannon has been on a high. And sometimes you get there and you get the feeling yourself. And let's see if we got the video first so we can, before we judge Uncle Shay Shay, which is getting real Shay Shay-ish. Yeah, let's listen to what Uncle Shay Shay had to say. And by the way, before I say anything, the man is very well dressed. I'm not feeling the makeup, but you got to wear makeup because of the sweat that you'll have on those things. He obviously is very, he's big guy. I sweat. I don't really sweat on my face as much as I sweat up under the arms and shit. But I get it. But that's a hell of a pattern right there. I like his style right there. So I like to give men props when they're dressed well. First. But let's listen to what Uncle. Actually, you know what? Are we going in reverse order? Yeah, but let's listen to his critique. Then we'll find out what he was critiquing about. Then we'll talk about everything else after that. But go ahead, Uncle Shay Shay.
but I'll say this. I would cut Jameis Winston today. I would not want him on my team. That's loser's mentality. And people will say, well, Shannon, what about when Dan Marino fake spiked the ball or Peyton Manning? They were not in victory formation. If you get down, the defense is conceding. If you want to run the ball, let the defense line up. Don't you fool them, think there's a victory formation, and then drive off the ball. You mean to tell me that's going rogue? Dennis Allen's going to probably have to go because his players have no respect for him.
Right.
He said they sent victory formation in, but
That's right.
we made a decision. I'm sorry, Molly. I would cut Jameis Winston today. If I'd been on that team, let me tell you what, I'd have jumped off sides on purpose. There's a mentality that you got to have if you want to play winning football. Jameis Winston has a loser's mentality. That's why they didn't win in Tampa. That's why Tom Brady came there, took the same team, and went to the Super Bowl. Look at what Baker Mayfield did with basically the same team. Got him in the playoffs, something that Jameis Winston couldn't
Shannon,
do.
do me a favor. Say that one more time on camera, what you would do.
I would cut him. I would cut Jameis Winston today.
The makeup has to stop.
All right. Can we just keep that angle? That's fine. That angle's fine too. No, not that one. It's about time, Uncle Shay.
Oh.
It's about time. Or you gotta go do the booty hair transplant like Dion. And
I'm just noticing. Really damn.
what's crazy though is I noticed this a while ago. I've been noticing this because he's doing the great podcast, which again, that's why a lot of people like my Dope Boys podcast. Because they said that was the closest that I've been to where I'm being more raw and authentic with Lorenzo. and it felt like with Shannon and Ocho, what they do. Was it After Hours Pie or whatever? But I noticed what he's doing, and if you look at his head, right, not the hairline, fuck all that. But I know why he's not going to let it go, because it reminds me of my grandmother's brothers, my great uncles. All of them have passed, unfortunately. But they all had that good hair, and I mean, like he got a part, like right down the fucking, like you see that part, like that's not the barbershop part that they put in your hair when they cut it. Like that man's brushing his hair. He got it to where it's the good texture. And I have a theory, but I'm going to say my theory after we listen to Jameis, his opinion on it. But what's crazy is to have such a strong opinion about, like, the ass whooping was there. It was 41 to 14 or some shit like that. My man threw an interception. He was running to score. He got tackled. And Jameis says that they decided as a team to score the touchdown. So this is how angry he is. And he's saying that he would have jumped outside or that he would have had something to say about it. I don't give a fuck. One thing that me and Lorenzo talked about with the shaving the heads, you can be the baddest of the bad motherfuckers, but you can't beat everybody's ass. It is 55 motherfuckers on that, 53 men on that active roster. Shannon, you would have got your ass mud stomped if you would have probably tried to touch Jameis Winston. All these motherfuckers love Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston is a national treasure. He's misunderstood. I personally think he's on the spectrum. Yeah. If you just watch the way he acts, but that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean what it used to mean. Like, I think he's autistic. But think about how good he is at football, how good he can articulate things well. He's just a little different, and he's wired differently than everybody else. But he's genuinely him, and everybody fucking loves Jameis Winston.
Loser mentality
loser mentality is not wanting to score. Actually, to be honest with you, victory formation is the most loser mentality ever, because it's the safest thing. But I'm not saying it's not strategic. Yeah, it's safe. Losers play it safe. It's also meant to run the clock out. Technically did. I, as a quarterback, would never want to take victory formation. You know why? Because it's negative yardage. I'd rather just do a QB sneak. Luke brings up a good point. Is Mario a winner? Mario's record dictates that he's not a winner, but the play wasn't the problem per se as the fumbling was. If he didn't fumble the ball, it would have worked. And honest to God's truth, the fumble didn't fuck up Miami. It was the fact that two fucking guys that you believe are going to get drafted in the first round fucked up twice, 2 plays in a row, and allowed a team to drive 60 yards in less than 50 seconds. That's what the fuck that's a loser mentality. Like going for the interception as opposed to just playing defense because you know they got to go deep 4 times with no timeouts. That being said, it's the strategically smart move to take a knee when you're in a close game. Not when it's 41-17 or whatever it was. It was not a fucking thing that Atlanta could do. Was it a bully move? Hell yeah. Was it a dick move? Abso-fucking-lutely. Was it a loser mentality? Hell fucking no. Hell fucking no. Shannon, you know better. What happened was, what do you call it? Virtue signaling. You got up here, and I hate when old heads do this shit. Yeah. We get on here and we talk about the glorious days of old, and we act like we wouldn't have done some silly shit like that too. And that's the reality. But that's what Shannon was talking about. Let's see what Jameis actually did. Because is it as bad to scold and ridicule and go over here and do all this other shit? I don't know. Would I have done it? I don't know. Oh, yeah, we got it right there. So here's a lead up of everything coming to it. So Falcons, here's another reason why I don't feel sympathy for it. Because one, if you're looking for sympathy, look it up in the dictionary between shit and syphilis. It is 41-17 right now, and the Falcons don't look like they're playing dead. If I'm looking correctly, they are inside the 35-yard line right now, lined up and in position to try to they line a bunch to the top. So they're 4 wide receivers. They're trying to throw the ball. They are not running this clock out. Go ahead, push play. Got an interception. This does not look like they're trying to lay down. Team's laying down, just lets him run into the end zone. Now, this is embarrassing. You should not be ran down by a lineman. Gets tackled inside the 1. Hold up. It's a minute 13 left on that clock. Plenty of time. They were going to keep trying to score. Maybe Jameis had something on the game. Now, go back real quick. I want to just go back a smidge. All right. Jameis didn't score himself. He let somebody else score. So he pushed play. He did that. Now watch Jameis. Look at him. He is excited about letting his teammate get the touchdown. His teammate's not facing any other vitriol. Jameis is facing all of the heat.
Oh, is Jameis the best kind of leader?
Jameis didn't even mention, because I didn't even know. I thought Jameis went for it. Like, Jameis hasn't mentioned the teammate once. Jameis has not said anything. He said as a team, the 11 men on that field, they all decided that, you know what, this is what we want to do. Now, as a team, Shannon did say one thing right. That team don't respect their football coach. They should have ran it by the football coach and said, hey, coach, man, fuck what you said, dog. We finna do this. Football coach got slapped, cussed the fuck out by the Atlanta Falcons coach on his way to getting fired. Matter of fact, nobody respects any of them. Jameis said you getting fired next week anyway. I mean, tomorrow anyway. That was that guy's first touchdown of the season, of his probably career. That might make Jameis the best teammate ever. Well, matter of fact, this is what the huddle looked like, Miles. Show go. We got a live audio of the of the New Orleans Saints breaking down victory formation, fullback dive. A little live breakdown of little listen to what Jameis and them and the crew had to say before that. Oh yeah, you gotta go back to all the way to the to I guess where the show is at. Oh, that was it. Not that. I think it's that one. Oh no, my bad. So, one more over. Yeah, there you go. Live breakdown right here. What they had to say. They were like, "Hey man, we're gonna go. Coach said we got victory formation. We're supposed to do the right thing. This is what sportsmanship looks like. All right, what y'all think about this, gentlemen?"
1, 2, 3. We don't give a fuck about none of that. 1, 2, 3. We don't give a fuck about none of that.
Jameis has the world in an uproar. A lot of Pitt born again. It's the Falcons' D job to stop him. You're right. Here's the real behind all of this. Like let's look at. No, before we even get into that, let's listen to show the video interview with Jameis. Because I do want to get into what his teammates actually think about him. But what's scary is how immaculate his hairline is. And his hair is really, this is really what my theory is. Can they see this now?
Yeah.
Now look at Jameis's hair. Look at that texture. It is amazing. Like, that's that good hair. And it's not going anywhere anytime soon. And I think Shannon's a little bit jealous of that. But here's what I don't like is when interviewers try to like do the most for the story and try to make the story about them. And let's listen to Jameis right here. This makes me like Jameis even more. Again, fuck the Florida State ties. Jameis is just a national treasure.
To DA, because the play was victory. But I also explained to DA that it was a team decision, and I think when you have a team morale, and I asked the guys, I say, guys, like, what do you want to do? We know how much Jamal means to this team, and I understood from DA's perspective, so I give him that. But DA didn't condone that at all. You know, he didn't. However, we decided as a team to do it, and man, we got an interception to the 1 yard line. You know, like, so if we would have scored, would it still would have been disrespectful? Right. You know, so
Tyron wasn't in on it, was he?
No, Tyron was not in.
No,
like it was an offensive team discussion. However, when you return the ball to the 1 yard line, and you have that opportunity. We just had that opportunity. And
what's more disrespectful?
Do you think it's the kind of thing though that is forgotten
Only a team
fairly
scoring
quickly, or
a team scoring on you? Because you had the 1 yard line and you took 3 knees. I think that's more disrespectful. All right, go ahead, man. Take me out my misery.
You know what I mean?
I think it should be forgotten, especially when the score is already 41-17. So I don't know how much worse it can get. But I got a ton of respect for Arthur Smith and the coach that he is. I think they do some incredible things. I didn't want to disrespect him. That was not my intention. My intention was to lead the team that I've been with the entire year. And we made a collective decision that we wanted to get one of our guys who they fight with blood, sweat, and tears every game in the end zone. And I'm gonna feel good about that. Yeah.
So no regrets.
No regrets. Well, this is the thing. It's about the team. It's not about regrets. It's not about anything else. It's about us as a team making a collective decision. But I do apologize to Dennis. I apologize to DA because that was not his call.
What you said decision made, was it right there on the spot, right when you're on?
What decision are you talking about?
At the end.
Okay. What at the end? What decision?
To go for the touchdown.
To go for the touchdown.
Was that something decided on the sideline after the pick, or did you wait till you got out there to do it?
We decided on the field as a team. I mean, we don't regret. Do we regret for scoring 41 points on them? Do you think we regret that?
Well, you have to play these guys twice a year. That's all I'm saying.
We
Here's the loser stuff.
I know, but I'm talking about the future. You know, somebody's got to play these guys twice a year. That's all.
How do you feel about it? Tell me how you feel about it.
Not good.
Why don't you feel good about it?
Because you got to play these guys twice a year.
But what about it makes you not feel good about it?
If the head coach tells you to kneel it up, you're asking my opinion.
Yes.
I think you should have kneeled it up.
Okay. Well,
I'm just telling you as respectfully as I can. You answer my question as respectfully as you could, and I'm telling you as respectfully as I can that I respectfully disagree with you. That's all.
You disagree with me or the entire team?
Whoever made that decision.
Okay. So you disagree with the entire team. So thank you.
That's it. Got him. So there it is.
And that's
There
what
it
I'm
is.
attempting.
Acting like he's not smart enough.
Like there it is. The thing is, what happened? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna get you. I think it's disrespectful to your boss. Well, then we all some disrespectful. That's what Jameis really should have said. You think we all some disrespectful motherfuckers? How about that?
And him saying it was his decision or the team's decision and they went away from the boss, does it take some heat off? Maybe he was trying to take heat off of his boss or his head coach.
Really, at the end of the day, everything begins and ends with the head coach. That's where the buck stops. But I think him taking ownership and him saying that we made one of the biggest qualities of a good head coach, a good leadership, is again how people are willing to take things as a team. They decided as a unit. And the thing is that the loser talk, the low T, very high estrogen. And Jameis called him out on that. Jameis said, dog, you are acting like a pussy without telling him you're acting like a pussy. He said, what the fuck is 41-17 not disrespectful? So we draw the line at 48-17. That with a minute 15 left in the game. After they tried to score. I'll say this. What should have probably happened was inform the other team. Hey, man, we're going to victory formation. Our guy would like to score a touchdown. If y'all want to fight a little bit, fight a little bit. But if not, we get it. Because you know what happens in victory formation? The D-line normally still fires off. Like, it's not like they threw a pop pass. Like, it wasn't like – what's crazy is nobody's interviewed the running back. everybody has interviewed Jameis. And Jameis is taking all the fall back in the flat. It's crazy, man. And but Jameis is good. It's just the way Jameis talks like an old uncle, but he's under 30.
No way he's under 30.
Wait a minute, no, wait, yeah, because he was 19. He's 29. He's gonna be like 29. 29. He might be 30.
Wow.
He might be 30 on the head.
That's so surprising.
Yeah, he might be 29, 30 years old. That's right. That's right. But like he talks like he's been here before. And let's go back to what Shannon, you know better. That Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, what they did when they got Brady was they went and got him a left tackle, which he had been asking for. They went and got some upgrades on defense. They went and got a tight end. They went and got a running back. They went and got fucking weapons. That was not the same Tampa Bay Buccaneers that he played with. The only thing that was the same there was him having Mike Evans. That's the only thing that was the same about that Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. Gage brings up a good point. Dude, you have to play the two. Like, the NFL, that might not even be the same team. A lot of those pieces ain't even going to be there. You got to see these people and all other kind of shit. You're going to train with these guys. Some of these Falcons guys might be players on the Saints next year. Like, he's saying it like it's college. Or he's saying it as a threat. Well, you don't think that they're going to care. They're going to get you next year. They're going to really want to beat you more. Like,
that's because he's used to building narratives.
Yeah, like, what do y'all think? What do people actually think? Like, using the Saints, for example, shout out to Greg Williams. I was there during the, not during that. That wasn't the Super Bowl year, but during the time he was there, they had the bounty gate, right? An NFL check is per game on the low. Well, now on the low end, it's a lot higher than it was then. But like on the low end, you're talking about 16, 17,000 a check, right?
Right.
You get paid bi-weekly, but you're talking about a relatively good amount of money per check. A top guy is going to get even more than that. Let's say you're making like 12 million. Like, so they were talking about, they're talking about the bounties were like $1,000 for a card off or $10,000 for this, $10,000 for that, right? Paraphrasing, not giving you the exacts. It's nowhere near a fucking NFL game check and nowhere near the fine that you might get for getting it. People really believe that people were over there trying to intentionally hurt people any more than you would in an NFL game over a couple $1,000s. You have got to stop trying to rationalize the way you live your life with the way that the elites live their lives and walk. When I played, I wanted to hit through somebody. I did not want to tickle you. I was not trying to pull your finger. I was not trying to do anything. I literally wanted to hit to hear the because it is a violent sport and I love violence. It was an outlet. When I started playing the game, it was because I had fucking daddy issues. And everybody who was on the other side was my fucking father whose hands I could not put on. You feel me? That's what some of us are. Like, if I did not find football at 14, I'd probably be in jail. It was a great alternative. It helped curve my life. It helped me see the world. All I had to do was go hit somebody else, and I could achieve all of the dreams and the things that I wanted. The only regret I have in life is that I did not do it at a high enough level to be able to do it for a few more years. The pain that I have to deal with sometimes, like I had bad headache yesterday, but then I remember, damn, I would not have what I have without having that headache. Some of the knee issues, some of the issues I have. It's a violent sport played because violent people want to be violent. It is an innate nature of some males. That's why we have wars. That's why we have some people have to stay back. Some people run towards. That's just the nature of how things are. Doesn't matter if you're Hebrew, Christian, or a Muslim. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you were born 1,000 years ago, if you're going to be born 10,000 years in the future. there will be violent men who are going to be matched up with other violent men who are going to do violent things together. Oh, shit, my God, Luke. What's up, bro? You trying to get on? Or are you just calling me? Yeah. All right, hold on. Let's see if this thing works, Miles. You got the roadcaster? All right. Is it good? Say something, Luke. Yeah, nah. All right.
A bionic arm, a Reese's cup, and a blind man walk into a bar.
Hold on. Say it again. Say it again.
A man with a bionic arm, a Reese's cup, and a blind man walk into a bar. What's the name of the bar?
I don't know. What's the name of the bar?
The Miami Hurricanes quarterback room. We're fucked.
That's tough, man. You don't like the quarterback room?
No, I don't like the quarterback.
I thought he's pretty, they were pretty excited. My man did the little thing with the siren.
That's not my people, man.
The little midget, the other little midget that does all the recruiting and shit. I thought he did this. You crazy, dog. You cap. He is he's the 50. There are only 52 other quarterbacks in the transfer portal that were better than him.
Like, all the trolls and jokes aside, what doesn't make sense to me is Mario can go and recruit his ass off. I think we'll agree about that. Can be said about the on-field production, the actual coaching on game day. The thing he get paid $8 million for. But when it comes to the off-season awards, all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Mario can dial it up better than anybody. Now, how the fuck can you not get a quarterback that's better than 52nd rated? I don't get it.
I think they're looking for a specific type of quarterback, one that can throw it a lot, complete a high volume of passes and not a lot of yards. I'm only looking at if you go look at Emory, look at the Dyke, and look at all these other people, and you'll see that's like they throw the dink and dunk ball. Like they use the short passing game, even though I don't understand that because you have a good running game, but they use the short passing game like the run game. Like there's no need to throw that many passes and not have that much production. Like, I guess I don't know,
and
man.
See, that's the funniest thing. That's the funniest thing is you're saying everything our insiders say, which is the air raid offense, which, James, you played when the air raid offense actually came on the scene, like when Leach and them in the early 2000s were introducing it to the world.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that the insiders explain it to me now is the short pass game is an extension of the run game, which is true air raid. Like, what the fuck are we doing? And then you look at our transfer list, you look at Brashard, you look at Colby, you look at all these people, which got speed, they're burners. And you can't throw the ball 10 downs to the field to anybody other than Restrepo. I don't get it.
I mean, I've told y'all, Miami Hurricane fans, and nobody wanted to listen to me, that I think when you missed out on a couple guys, full transparency. The goal is to get Ja'Curry to get you to 8 wins. If he can get you to 8 wins, you're going to probably have a pretty good class. To get you to this quarterback that's in your 25 class, because he's pretty good. And because Judd, respectfully, had a better year this year, much better year, exponentially better than the previous year. Can't be worse than last year, but did really well at Warner. He went to Warner Robins, if I remember. Transferred to Warner Robins, did really well. I think they're just like, man, we just got to ride with what we got. Because the joke in the what's used against Florida State, you can't keep using that if you got to keep getting everybody out the portal. And I don't know, man. That's just my trying to rationalize it, but. And your offensive line is going to be good. Your offensive line is good. Maybe you'll be able to block a little bit for them.
But that's the saddest thing is, like, they've sewn up all the other position groups but the most important piece on the chessboard sucks.
I mean, you're right. I ain't got nothing for you, man.
Now, we can start a running back at quarterback and still beat Florida by 2 touchdowns.
That's where what's going to be interesting, because I have no fucking idea what's going on there, and I want to. Like, I want to be able to. I have an unhealthy obsession with wanting to understand things that don't make sense, and Miami kind of makes sense. Or I could call somebody at UM and find out. Like, I learned a lot about UM in a conversation I had yesterday. It's very interesting. And if they could get it together, but I don't think that guy will be there long enough for you guys to get it together. But it shows a humility and a wiseness that is crazy to me. But he just can't bring in the quarterback that he's brought in officially. Because even when people give him credit for Herbert, if Herbert Tag played Herbert, and Herbert was with the last half. He hadn't recruited a guy that he brought in. So people say he killed him. Herbert actually performed pretty well under Mario in the 2 years that Mario had him. I believe it was 2 years. But after that, I guess Van Dyke just seems to go down. But when I think about it, if we go back and we look at Tyler Van Dyke, like, objectively and not from a troll stance either way, we probably see that he just had a couple good games and everybody was excited about what the potential could be. And it probably wasn't really that good. But I don't know, man. We'll see. That's what they got spring ball for. But a hell of a cup.
I know.
How's Emery's wing doing? Is he getting better? Because, I mean, if he's getting better, you got a shot.
Well, what people are saying down here is that Emery is not going to be ready until 2025. Like, it was that bad of an injury.
Damn.
So that's what I'm concerned about. And then as soon as I see gunslinger from the Northeast on the CL, I have Vietnam War flashbacks thinking about the Dyke.
Listen, man, at least he can dunk. He's pretty good at basketball. So we had if we had a ACC football, like, basketball squad, I like y'all. I like y'all right now. Y'all better than us. I just haven't seen our guys hoop, so I don't know.
James, thanks for letting me on. And then, to be honest with you, I would rather be a Jags fan than a Dolphins fan, because the way we shit the bed to end the season with the amount of talent we have, no disrespect to the Jaguars, is just unacceptable.
It is. Yeah, no, they're going to Kansas City. It's fucking a high of 10 degrees on Saturday.
James, I'm going to be there.
They play at 8. It's cold as fuck. Dog, I froze my ass off last year in Kansas City. Like, it is crazy. Like it ain't. Miami is 1 in 30, 1 in 31 in all below freezing games. Tua hip for the start hurting and his ankle. Bro, the only thing that's going to save Miami and make them win the Super Bowl, and this is going to sound fucked up, right? And I don't mean for it to sound fucked up, but it's really, when you think about it, you go back, Tua didn't start playing really well until somebody knocked his ass out and he was throwing up gang signs unconsciously.
Oh my God!
And it's like the movie. You know the movies when you have amnesia, or like he got hit and then he became a quarterback. That motherfucker couldn't miss when he came back. It's like he wasn't thinking because he couldn't think. Like it shook up the synapses or something in his head. And they put all these people, like, to not be as successful as he should be, with 2 of the best wide receivers in the NFL and 2 running backs that are running out of their minds and a tight end. The fuck is going on over there?
Well, Waddle's out, right?
Yeah, Waddle has been out, and Mostert was out against the Bills too.
Oh shit!
But still, the point remains the same.
Yeah.
And by the way, to all your listeners, if you want to unlock your Den Media subscription free for like 2 years, put up 550 on the Chiefs to win by 6 or more, you win 1,000. You're welcome.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I might do that. I was really thinking about it. Man. But all right, Luke, man. Appreciate you calling in, bro.
Thanks for having me on.
Oh my God, Luke. All right, man. We got to go talk about this last subject because it's very interesting. And y'all know how I feel about the Hill. But FAMU head coach, damn, I didn't even get a chance to talk about these cats because we went into that. Yeah, we'll get into the other shit. We'll talk about this. Let's go. FAMU head coach Willie Simmons is now the running backs coach at Duke University. Basically, him and Deion Sanders have you seen what Charleston White said about Deion? Yeah, he said, I apologize to Deion. I used to want to be pro-black and want to do everything black and this, but he's like, but these N-words don't want to do right. He's like, so I see why he went all the way. He left that little black ass town and went to Colorado where they treated him right. His family's safe and he made money. He's like, man, I'm doing that too. And he's like, white people, I am willing to sell out. Onto the white side. But Willie decided that, man, and Willie said it on HBCU game day. Shout out to Van. Van was the producer at V10. Shit, I forgot the name of the station, but it was the first black hip hop station in Tallahassee. So we had 96.1, which is the R&B station, and we had 90.5, which played everything. But 102.3 was the only station that played rap. So I went there and I did an internship when I was like in 9th grade, and I edited Everybody Get Your Roll On because they didn't have a clean version for it. And so he wanted to play it. And he says, God damn, motherfucker. She's a good sucker. So I got a chance to edit that, and we took the woo. So we put that bit. It was like, woo, woo, mother, woo. Like that was me. I felt you couldn't tell me that I wasn't going to be a Grammy Award winning music producer. But Vaughn went over to be media for FAMU. Now he does runs HBCU Game Day, which is a very good channel to go get a lot of news on HBCU because a lot of y'all talk about y'all like HBCUs, but you don't like them like that. But he went on there. Willie went on and he talked about what he needed to do for his progression, and he wants a chance to be a Power 5 head football coach. And when we hear this from the leaders, right? We have to understand attitude reflects leadership. You can't expect these kids to believe that the highest of 7 hills is the best stop for them if the fucking coaches don't believe that. So they do all of this. He leaves, and now they're in a conundrum. FAMU is in this weird position that it has a very active, verbally and physically active alumni base. They'll tell you, even the songs, like you had to grow. I'm so glad I'm from FAMU, singing glory, hallelujah. I'm from FAMU. They got like it's in there, like it's like going to church service with a barbecue and a football game played at the same time. Very live band. To keep Willie. Again, my PWI people, don't laugh. Because it's good for FAMU, but sad at the same time. They had an aggressive contribution campaign. They raised like $500,000 over a weekend. Okay. Or they raised the money to try to keep Willie home to pay his salary that he was commanding for 1 year. That would never happen at Florida State. Like that shit would have been raised a lot. Like you'd have raised like 20 times that. Not because we have more alumni. It's because we have more alumni that we can fucking call to get shit done when we need them to get shit done. FAMU has that. Those alumni are not bought into what they want to do because of other different things that have gone on through the years, money mismanagement, other shit like that have happened. But now that was raised, and the athletic director did a pretty good job of trying to raise that from the surface. There have been leaks, and then here's the problems that do come forward with FAMU and HBCUs in general. There is no one sound, one mind. No matter where you feel on the line of Willie Taggart being fired or kept, no matter where you fell on the line of Willie Taggart being hired after Jimbo Fisher was fired, lock and step, fell in line, PWI, move forward. No matter how you feel about a coach at Florida, whether you believe Jim McElway should be fired during the middle of the season, whether you believe the next coach was the best hire, whether you believe this coach was the best hire, you don't see article after article of fan bases and alumni actively protesting and working against the fucking athletic director to get shit done. Now, I'm going to start off by saying this. I fucking would have loved to see James Colsey or Billy Roll be the head coach. I personally believe that James Colsey or Billy Roll would have been the perfect head coach for FAMU. I would also not try to purposely sabotage by putting shit in the air to fuck up the athletic director from doing their job. Because if an athletic director is going to go at the needs of the players and at the needs of what the fan base thinks, then the athletic director won't be the fucking athletic director there for very long. Now, I will say this. I said this when they were going to first take it. I said this when there was a lady who I really think, in Angela Suggs, who I believe would have been the right choice for this job. One thing that we do as a people at HBCUs, we are not fucking fair to women. Fam, you had a very good fucking president that was a female president that they fucking ran out of there. They've had nothing but dysfunction since she hasn't been there anymore. I don't know if she's a good athletic director or not. But I do know this. You cannot allow players to dictate what the next fucking hire is. And she's not, but it's not making her popular. It's not, I don't think the decision that she's making is fucking helping the situation either. But at the same time, it's her hire to make. It is your hire to fucking make it better. Kobe Gross, who I believe he's all SWAC tight end, was at Florida State for a second, but then had to transfer out. He makes this statement. If you go to, that right there. Put it up there. And what happens is, I'm going to read it first, and I'm going to tell you why it's wrong. I'm going to tell you why they did it again. I never speak on nothing to anyone on Twitter about FAMU football, but this decision about the next head coach is huge, as us players have spoken, and we want Colsey or Roll, and if that doesn't happen, it will not be good for our program. We want to run it back. And I get it. There's threats that people will leave and transfer if a certain coach is picked. Not things you can do to run, not great ways to run your program. Now, this goes back to last year. What happened last year? I'll tell you what happened last year. FAMU wasn't getting the things that they wanted, right? FAMU players weren't handling themselves in the classroom because at a certain point, personal responsibility has to come into play. I'm gonna tell you who put this up to it. I'm gonna say it's my opinion, but I'm gonna say it's my opinion on an educated guess with a lot of materials that point in this direction. And I'm gonna give you one that's more humorous than others, but I have more proof. The players organized and said that they didn't want to go play North Carolina because most of their team was suspended. And they weren't going to go play because of the conditions, and they didn't have a lot of different things. Wrote a fucking, it was a manifesto. The boys literally had buses. The buses had to leave. Florida State had to play somebody, and those buses had to go pick up the other team from the airport. So they missed their buses to go to the airport. So they had to pay for other buses, like Caltrain, like our city buses, basically to pick them up, take them to the airport so that they could fly to North Carolina on a flight that they had to get delayed so they can go do something else because they held out until certain demands were met. Met with the president, met with a whole bunch of other people. Turns out the players wrote this. Now, as I joked about some other things that I've seen in the past, here's how you know if a player wrote this. There wasn't one in a social media generation where everybody typed shorthand. There wasn't no typo. Everything was done right. Bitch, a grown-ass motherfucking adult used words that they ain't never used before. Type that shit up in the player side. They were put up to it. I believe, which is not a bad plan. I think it's terrible to misuse kids. They were put up to it by Coach Simmons to be able to get demands that Coach Simmons wanted because he felt he wasn't getting what he needed quick enough. But it worked. And what happens sometimes when something works, we don't get innovative or creative and go find a new way or even realize that it shouldn't have worked that way. What happens is we go back and we fucking do the same thing again, thinking that without realizing that wells ran dry. Black people do all the time. Black people love to fucking march. Nobody likes to walk more than black people who have been slighted. Won't walk for nothing else, but will fucking walk when something else happens. That shit worked in the 60s. You got some things and you realize how much you've lost since then. You've got to go do something else. Life is about negotiating from a point of leverage. You have no leverage. You're not at Florida State anymore. You've already transferred once. Where the fuck you gonna go next? Go transfer out? Sit out a year? Who wants you? They told you that this is just as good as a PWI or anywhere else. The world didn't tell you that. The guys who left you told you that shit. There's no knock on them. No knock on them at all. Go get your bag. But go look at the guys who told you, who brought you in. Come play for us, man. Go play for us and then go watch. Look where they at. We're going to show the world that we just as good as them. But then they go with them. White man's ice is colder. Again, no knock. Get your paper, daddy. I just don't like the fact that we lying to people and making them believe something that we don't believe ourselves. That is hypocrite. That's being a hypocrite. And now because the people who left you, they put the lady in a position in which she didn't sign up for. He just signed an extension. He's already the highest paid HBCU coach. And now she has to go do something. Now, where she's failed and what I've heard from other athletic directors, any good athletic director has a hot list of 5 coaches for every sport that they could call, that they would know where they're going to go if that guy leaves. Because you never know what's going to happen. They're either going to get a new job, they're going to retire, death could happen, anything can happen. You have to be prepared for all things when it comes to coaching. Just using FAMU, for example. FAMU had a phenomenal basketball coach, Coach Mike Gillespie. They had to fire him because apparently he was stalking the bitch. I'm pretty sure that the athletic director at the time was not going around thinking, damn, I'm going to have a motherfucker that's going to stalk a bitch. But he had to have one. Now, I'm going to also say this. Again, my critique of FAMU having been, James, how can you critique FAMU? Because I've been on FAMU's campus for almost 40 years. I know the inner workings of that motherfucker. I know all that shit. I know the outside political stuff. Y'all do not treat outsiders very well. Kellen Winslow was the athletic director. You didn't treat him very well. Kellen Winslow, I'm a senior, not the Hall of Fame one. But he came in, wanted to do some innovations. They got so mad at him because he cut Olympic sports for 1 year because the budget was so bad. He had to do something so that they didn't lose everything. They gave him a hard time. They brought in Millie Overton, who had experience at PWIs and had did a lot of different things. That motherfucker found the first thing out of that bitch because it was fucked up. Each time they bring in my guy Mike Smith, who does a really, really good job, and then he's just like, Mike Smith is like, I can only tolerate this for short bursts. Y'all got to bring somebody else in here because y'all motherfuckers annoying. And he from FAMU, played football at FAMU, been in Tallahassee since his days on the Hill. Wife ran track at FAMU. Just a fucking FAMU family. Then you bring in the little fruity boy. And don't get me wrong, the fruity boy did a lot of fucked up shit that a lot of people don't know. Can't remember his name. Went to Marshall. The assistant athletic director was getting banged by Ramon Alexander, who was a politician. And they were just a lot of weird shit. That one, okay. Yeah, they were outsiders, but they were wild. They was wilding the fuck out. And then you bring in her. And then now here's her problem. She's saying she don't want to keep nobody from the last staff because of APR issues. APR is basically your academic stuff, graduation rate. If you click on the thing that I have up there, here's what Willie had to say about APR under FAMU. So somebody lying. It's all retraceable, but like, I mean, it's all trackable. We can find this shit out. Nobody's going to go look for it because nobody cares about that shit. Yep, this one right here. And here's what Coach Simmons had to say about this, about their track record when it comes to academic shit. Read that for a little bit as I try to pull it up myself so I can see it because I cannot see it on that shit. All right, I got it now. 2022-2023 football single-year APR score of 950. 0 ineligible football players for 2023 football season. 30 graduates played on the 2023 team. 6 football players graduated December 23. Over 20 football players graduated in the last calendar year. No pending postseason bans. He posted this right before he took the job at Duke. So if there's an APR thing coming, it was on the last staff. That means it would have been on Willie, but Willie posted this. So somebody lied. Now, who is the person that has everybody in an uproar right now? Tiffany Sykes is allegedly about to hire Sean Gibbs. Sean Gibbs is the current football coach at Fort Valley State, Division II football program. He's been there for 2 years. He's lost. He's been finished second in the SIAC. He lost to former FAMU alumni Quinn Gray, who was the head coach at Albany State in Quinn Gray's first season at Albany State. And here's the real fucked up part. Now, James Colsey is allegedly taking the job at Mercer. Quarterback coach has left. Billy's pseudo retired, so he may stick around. Didn't even interview those guys. There was a national coaches convention that just stopped this weekend. That would have been great if she would have let those guys, have known what their fate was going to be and like let them go. It's one of the places where you go network. You go meet. Almost everybody goes to the national coaches conventions. It's like one of those things that you do. Party, network, meet other people. Rumor is she's saying anyone that she doesn't even want them to stay, and she definitely doesn't want to promote them. And she's bringing the coach in. He's going to get paid less. His staff will be less. And, it'll save the department some bread. Which is kind of what your role as an athletic director is. But let's click on, this is one of the notable moments that this guy has had when the last time he came to Tallahassee was with when he was with North Carolina A&T homecoming, and this is one way that I know a lot of FAMU alums remember him. I can't blame him for this. A lot of time when there's a lot of testosterone flowing, it's very difficult for one person to bottle it all up. But this is why some people are outraged and don't necessarily want him here. So this is when he was visiting. Not necessarily the best way to typically you wouldn't welcome those guys back like that. With all that being said, sad situation overall. I personally hope this guy the best. But I do know this. It doesn't help the national image or the prestige if you don't learn how to take things that are take beefs and put them behind the scenes. And that's all you can go for. And if it's and like I said, that's all you can go for. But I'll end it with this. And here's something that's very funny to me. As I said, every few months, right? Every day, again, if you don't believe this, pull out your calendar, and I want you guys to check this, right? Just to mark it down. Or go back to 2023 and go look at your calendars and mark it down. I promise you, if we did a study, you could probably mark the winter solstice. You could probably track when Orion's belt shows up in the sky. You could North Star, seasons, all of that shit. Every 90 days, Jada Pinkett is going to say something random about their relationship. Every few years, or like when Haley's Comet comes, Cat Williams is going to make the news by saying some outrageous or doing some outrageous shit, like either getting choked out by a 13-year-old, getting arrested at Target, or some wild shit like that. I promise you, just look it up. There's no hate, just shit that happens. My teammate PK Sam is going to say something about Bobby Bowden and that did him wrong. And this bitch is going to say something about Steph Curry that nobody asked about, that nobody wanted to know. Our whole lives were doing fine without listening or hearing from this light skin. This is why I tell you guys, light-skinned women are the fucking devil. This man he's been shooting threes. His life has been peaceful. And I promise, I have never seen a bitch, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful manner. I'm just using it as a descriptor. But I've never seen somebody who just has to be in the spotlight. Like Laura Simmons, Angela Simmons. I just noticed that because I haven't realized she's a terrible person too. I saw something with her. I didn't know her and Romeo were together. Maybe it was the others, but yeah, it had to be her. And Romeo but then she was getting dicked down by Bow Wow for years. And you went between Romeo and Bow Wow. But anyways, this chick right here, she's like, no, I'm not. She literally went on Jada's platform, which now we all know we can all collectively as a family say Jada's a piece of shit, right? On her platform and said, I'd be like, I just want my DM saturated. Like, I want this, I want that. Nobody asked for anything. Nobody was talking about this shit. She goes on some talk show, says something. Now she's all over my social media. But even if it wasn't, nobody fucking asked you. Women, don't be like, if you want a really rich man or you want a popular man, don't do this shit to him. This is going to get you banned by 90% of them motherfuckers. This is why I think Steph's fucking other bitches. But go ahead.
Turn into a whole other thing. But my husband really loves my feet.
Oh, I love that.
And so, the light was hitting him just right that day. And so I was like, let me just snap this photo and send him a picture of my feet. So I always say, when he says to send nudes, that's what he's getting, a picture of my bare feet. I don't know if he's happy about that.
So, do we need to know Steph had a foot fetish? Was that on your bingo calendar today? If this doesn't scream, let me fit in with the other girls, let me seem like I'm a little bit for the streets, I'm actually afraid if Steph leaves her. She gonna be on OnlyFans. She gonna get turned out. She is an attention whore. And people say women love to go on social media and say men are trying to compete with women, when there's plenty of examples of women trying to compete with men, trying to get the attention. We can all use to know a little bit less about each other. Last thing I need is somebody coming up here. If I had a woman always if it's always kind of embarrassing, bitch, I got to get rid of you. I'm sorry.
Wasn't she a cook or something?
She had a semi-popular cooking show. Like it wasn't like she wasn't fucking Martha Stewart. Yeah, like because be honest with you, if she was, she'd still be there.
That's what I was thinking. Like, why don't you just go cook some stuff? Oh, that seems sexist.
That seemed real sexist. But again, this is why Angelo put it up there, put it perfect. This is why Savannah James, they never want like. It's only like men want this, men want that. Almost every man is telling you we want Savannah James. It ain't nobody. Don't no women say Savannah James, Savannah James, Savannah James. It's these bitches that they want to be like.
Yeah.
They want to defend these bitches.
That is true.
Savannah don't say shit, and when you see her, it like Savannah naturally gets all the attention. It's almost like seeing a unicorn or some shit. When she steps on the red carpet, that's Savannah James. And you can't say Savannah James grew up in the same hood conditions like LeBron. She wasn't like manipulated to become she wasn't like taught how to do this shit. She's just been who she was. And people love that shit.
Wanting the attention of other men while you're married so much, why do we have to explain that that's the wrong thing? It shouldn't need to be, but it does need to be explained because I've had talks with female friends of mine with the same thing. Like, no.
I've learned this, and I have a couple of female friends. I have female friends all across the spectrum. A lot of them, the dick pic is the thing that they love to bring up. I get dick pics in my DMs. Get dick pics in my DMs. No, they're like, I don't like this shit. I'm like, have you ever? So I was curious. So probably the wrong person to ask, but I asked nonetheless. I asked my mom. I said, Mom, you get random dick pics in your DMs? Because my sister was saying she was getting this a couple years ago. I'm like, Mom, you getting random dick pics in your DMs? Mom says, no, ain't nobody ever sent me no goddamn dick pic in my DMs. What's wrong with you, son? Why would you ask me something like that?
I mean, it's a valid response.
So I was like, valid? Because again, who would send, like, I don't get random titty pics in my DMs. I don't get random. Like, you have to present something to me. It's kind of like what made that person feel comfortable with you to just send you a dick pic. Something got to be there. You have to invite it. Like Savannah ain't out here just inviting attention. She's getting it though. Like I guarantee you, when she put that on, you know what she's probably get with Aisha probably got 1,000 requests for feet pics. Now that they know that she got them in the phone.
What about being comfortable with yourself and all that? I get dressed for me.
That's not what it's never been about. Like, anyways, though. Dope show. Funny. Appreciate everybody hanging out with me. Listen, we got Mark Rogers, 6 p.m. Renegade Reports got 7 p.m. with my teammate Brian McFadden. I should be making the announcement I'm going to give you 2 Dope Boys episodes here coming up. Here's my goal. I'm going to give y'all 4 free Dope Boys, and then it's going to be for members only live, and then we'll release the footage later on. We're going to damn near do it like Vlad. Release it in 4s and do it every 2 weeks. But we should have some good interviews coming up, more content coming up. Make sure you consider becoming a member. $3.99 is the lowest level. $199 is the highest level for all-in members. Make sure you check that out. Please push the like button before we get off the show. Continue to push the algorithm up. And we will, other than that, I appreciate you guys for chopping it up with me. And we will see you guys next time.